the ultimate power in the universe.
Last will be last.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
You are now if you only knew the power of darkness.
Here it comes. Let's go.
You are now tuned in to LightSaber Radio. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello there.
What's happening, far, far away family? How is everyone doing today? Welcome back to LightSaber Radio. Subscribe, thumbs up, bell notification, all that good stuff. That way you make sure that you catch all of our episodes. What's going on, guys? How you guys feeling today?
Hey, we're good. It's another day. We're back. That was actually a really good episode of Rebels. So what?
It really is. What's going on, Chris?
Everything's good on over here where I'm at. Started my job today. Everything's just falling into place. So
you have no job other than LightSaber Radio. That is your purpose. CJ, that is your purpose.
it's been my purpose for 6 months. It's going to be my purpose until
I'm just
I don't know until we call
it.
it quits. I don't know.
You never quit.
You know,
My passion.
I wanna quit.
he loves LightSaber. He would do anything. He would even walk up on stage and slap a boy in the face if he talked bad about LightSaber Radio.
Oh, we're going to pull it up now. We're going to pull okay.
Keep the negative shit out of your motherfucking mouth.
Well, first things first, let's first address that the guy who did all the sign language for the Mandalorian season 3, Book of Boba Fett won an Oscar for his work for the Book of Boba Fett, which is great. But can we please talk about Will Smith smacking the hell out of Chris Rock before he got that award?
That's what we were just talking about. You late, man. What we were just talking about. That's what the whole little thing was about.
I just wanted to address the Mandalorian won a fucking Oscar, or the Book of Boba Fett won an Oscar. I keep saying the Mandalorian because he had more of an impact than the Book of Boba Fett did. But still.
Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't find out about it till the next morning because I woke up, and the first thing I do is wake up, look at Instagram or TikTok or one or two, and the first thing I see is Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock. And I was like, oh, really? I thought they was friends and shit. Like, what the hell happened?
all over.
No, I was sitting there on the couch and I'm scrolling through TikTok and I see it. I'm like, oh, that's got to be fake. And then Tori pulls it up on YouTube. Oh, no, that wasn't fake. That was not fake at all. Oh, man.
Chris, you special.
Really?
Wayne Brady needs to slap a bitch.
Oh, man.
Okay, so this episode of Rebels was kind of heartfelt, but at the same time, it had a lot of good action in this episode, and it had like a good twist to it. So it made it pretty good. What y'all think about the episode?
Honestly, so far, it's been one of my favorites. I really liked at the beginning, how they're talking about the Force and I don't know. I love because in bits and pieces throughout stories, you get little insights about what the Force really is and how it works. And I liked at the very beginning of this episode, it kind of gives you a little bit of insight in how the Force works and how it's about connection with those other beings or whatever, and how because we've always thought the Force is about being totally neutral and not connected to anything, but it is about connection, just not attachment. And so I just thought that was really interesting, kind of getting these little philosophical lessons about the Force.
Yeah, I think it was, to me, I think it was more of a, just that, because, it's so hard, you got to think about it. You got Empire Day. This is happening roughly 15 years after the Empire takes over. That's how we find out how old Ezra is, because Empire Day is on his fucking birthday. That had to be the worst shit. The Empire carries your parents, and that's your birthday.
You were born during Order 66.
So, it's crazy because if you really think about it, this is 15 years after the fact. So it kind of gives us an age range of everybody that's on the show. That was one of the good things. Then the other thing that really made it really good is the way that Ezra, even though he's training to be a Jedi, he still has some emotion. He's upset about it. He's like, dude, it's my birthday and my parents are dead. Well, then he kind of finds out they might still be alive. And then they brought in Sibo, which is a brand new character that has never been introduced within Star Wars. So, and he got all the attachments on his head, and it's just the whole overall storyline was just really, really good. There, like I said, there was some action. There's that heartfelt, like, dude, this sucks, man. It's your birthday. But then they blow up the special TIE fighter that they was revealing. It just had a little bit of everything in this episode. This was one of my favorite episodes of season 1.
Oh yeah.
My favorite thing was when Zeb and Sabine were sitting there, and he's got that thermal detonator, and he doesn't know what it is other than a thermal detonator. And he's like, okay, when can I throw it? When can I throw it? It's getting bad. He's panicking. And he hucks it, and he's like, oh, they're fireworks. Cool. You see the relief leave his face, and then he's like, okay, cool, I can enjoy this now. I'm not just going to blow up sitting here. I loved that.
And look at Flip. That guy's got an arm. He's got a flipping cannon. How high he threw that son of a bitch.
I want him on my team. I want him on my Vikings team because Kirk Cousins is blowing it. I think he'd be great.
My fantasy QB.
Right, Zeb.
Yeah, overall, it just was a really good episode. I mean, just had a little bit of everything that you could possibly want in an episode of something that has to do with Star Wars. And the moral of the story is how to overcome mental and physical or emotional type things, you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't really show it, but that's kind of where it's leaning to, because it goes into the next part in next week's episode. Because, they're trying to figure out what, like, he's mad at Sibo, like Sibo's the one that got his parents killed. It's like, dude, I was like Sibo didn't have shit to do with that. But at the same time, he's thinking. So
yeah, I like how it like kind of teaches that lesson without being too like, here's the lesson. It's open to interpretation, so people can really draw what they need to from it. And I think that's what like good episodes and good shows do. They have those messages that you can kind of glean for yourself. And yeah, it was good.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that it was a 2-parter, so it got a little bit more into depth. Honestly, I loved the Kanan. Kanan knew that there was something wrong. Like right out the gate, he knew something was up. He was like, "Hey, you can't keep acting like this if you want to learn. You're not gonna learn what I'm trying to teach you if you're so hurt and so stuck in this one mindset." And we know Ezra isn't stuck in that mindset permanently, obviously, because there's more seasons. But you could see that his birthday is just a personal thing that isn't something he's going to get past very soon. I mean, come on. The Jedi died on your birthday. Empire Day is the day that the Empire was founded. That means Order 66 happened. That means Emperor Palpatine introduced the Empire and did all these things. Like you think about Empire Day, you think about some dark stuff. You don't think about a beginning. You see a new regime taking over and purged out a great mass of importance to the universe, which was the Jedi. As much as the Jedi were a little bit faulty, they were still a good force. And obviously that's got to be hard on Kanan, but Kanan knows how to control his issues.
Well, I still think that, this is the thing. What we're learning so far is like Kanan, because you got to remember, Kanan never really finished his Jedi training. He was still a Padawan, and we seen that in the Bad Batch. And then he just kind of, so he's learning, and he's trying to teach as he's learning. Ezra's kind of, so he doesn't know how to interact. He doesn't know really what to do. They're like a perfect match because Kanan really don't know how to be a master, and Ezra has no idea how to be an apprentice. So they're kind of like learning this together, and it's building a very good bond between the two of them. But at the same time, it's like a teenager with a parent. The teenager, the parents trying to tell the teenager, "I've been through this. I've already been through all the stuff that you're going through. So listen to me," but at the same time, the teenager's like, you don't know crap, you know what I'm saying? And that's kind of their relationship. So with them having that type of relationship, it gives you a very good, what's the word I was looking for? It went somewhere. But dynamic? It gives you, a very good dynamic together, you know, as them being together. So, and that's what makes it so exciting because you don't really know what's going to happen. Like, what is Kanan going to do? Is he going to lose his temper and smack him upside the head? Is Ezra going to run off? You know, you don't really know what's going to happen. I mean, he's trying to do the right thing, but at the same time, it's like, oh man, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn. I'm learning as he's learning. So it kind of makes it, you know,
it's a balance effect.
Yeah, it kind of balances out. But it is. It's like a big brother and a little brother, you know, and the big brother's kind of trying to tell him, or a parent, you know, trying to tell him, hey, man, I know what you're going through. And he's like, no, you know, you don't, man. You ain't me. You don't know what you don't know what you're talking about.
But I think he's a great person to kind of teach the lesson that Ezra's kind of learning in this episode. He's trying to, like, connect with the Force and the people around him, but also lower his guard and let go of the past and be at peace with yourself. And I mean, going through Order 66, being like the only Jedi that he knows of left, like he's got to have experience doing that, right? Like letting go of the past and kind of being at peace with yourself and lowering that wall. And I think that's a lesson that everyone can apply, but it I don't know, it works really well within the story.
I think with these 2 episodes, what I got out of it, like the overall like story arc, is to learn how to forgive yourself for something you had no control over.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to sit there and dwell on it and blame yourself, even though you had no control over the situation, you couldn't change it, you couldn't fix it, you couldn't save it, and you're still blaming yourself, you're not going to be able to move on. You're not going to be able to progress in life. You're going to just be stuck in a stagnant spot where you're not going to be one with yourself. You're not going to know what kind of person you are if you keep dwelling on something that shouldn't shape you because you didn't cause it. Ezra was what? He said 8 when his parents were taken from him? Like 7, 8, something like that?
Yeah.
So, like, he's blaming himself, and then he turns around and blames Zebo, even though overall, when you watch these 2 episodes together, you kind of learn that Zebo was trying to do something to get the eyes off of Ezra's family, the Bridger family. That's why he's got that Lobot kind of headset going on with his head.
Yeah.
You know, he tried doing something, and then he realized what was going on was wrong and dipped out. He's got Imperial secrets.
And then it's kind of cool because Sabine kind of understands as being somebody that was an Imperial cadet, you know, and then turns around and now Seabo's here and he's all hooked up. He's almost a cyborg in a sense, and he got all this information. She's like, Ezra, give him a break, you know. And then, like, one of my favorite parts is this is where you kind of really get to see Callus's, you know, he was handling his own against a Jedi.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that was kind of cool.
That dude's badass.
He's not no punk, and that gave you like a real sense of who Agent Callus was. So that wasn't too bad. Chris makes a very good thing, you know, it also how Ezra is handling and coming to peace with his grief. Because that's one of the things, you know, that can lead you to the dark side, you know, real quick. Why does it keep doing this? The hell? I don't know why.
Doing what?
Nah, in my earphones, like I'm hearing like noise coming up, and I don't know where this noise is coming from. I don't know if it's coming through the thing. It's like, it's not even a noise. It's like music is playing in the background. I don't know where it's playing at.
But
I have no idea.
Like Chris said, it is hard to handle grief. You know, when you're in a situation like that, you know, 2 years ago, I was in a situation where I was in that grieving state where I blamed everything on everybody, including myself. And I was just a miserable person. And it took 2 years to move past that kind of motion, that, hey, you couldn't control that and you can't stop that. Like, it was a part of what was supposed to happen. This was a part of the grand scheme of things. You didn't cause it, let alone you weren't able to control the situation and stop it. You can't blame yourself for something you couldn't stop or you weren't a part of or you didn't cause. And I think once Ezra gets past that grief and catches himself and realizes, like, hey, how am I supposed to learn? How am I supposed to grow if I keep looking at this situation and thinking that's my fault, even though what was I supposed to do in that moment? I was a kid. I couldn't stop that. Yeah. That's not That's not something I can control. Like, I'm not going to fight. I can't fight the whole Empire. Just like Sabine said to Ezra. You couldn't have, he couldn't fight the, oh no, it was Kanan. Kanan said it. Zebo couldn't have fought the whole Empire. He couldn't stop it. What were we supposed to do? Yeah. Well, yeah, he got away with a lot of secrets.
He could have done something. I'm just kidding. But yeah. I do have one problem with the episode though. When they're making their escape and the dumbass flipping commander is just standing there like sticking his hand out like stop, like swipe or no swipe. Bro, this isn't Dora the Explorer. Like they're not gonna stop just because you're standing there and saying stop. That was hilarious.
You know, that happens often.
That's a thing. That is a thing.
That is a real thing that stormtroopers and guards and stuff do. Just Imperials, they just be like, oh, just because I'm Imperial, the rebels and everybody's just gonna not shoot me and they're just gonna do what I tell them to do. Like, no, they're not. What are you talking about? They're rebels. They're
for such an oppressive, evil regime, you'd think they'd be a little quicker with the violence and brutality.
You know, it's one of those things, like, you know, it's funny because I was like comparing like Russia to the Empire. Like, dude, they're just going over here. And you got this giant army and you're just getting whooped by like some normal people, you know what I'm saying, in Ukraine. These are like normal people. They just gave them guns and said, go fight. And they're like winning. And it's like the same thing. Like, did y'all like even train your, like, you just put on some stormtrooper armor and just said, go fight. Like, you know what I'm saying? Where the good guys
don't even work. Like,
they can't see anything. It's like, it's like,
what do I do with this? Just point it that way. And press the button.
I wonder how many times, like, one of the Inquisitors, like the stormtroopers were like aiming at something, and the Inquisitors like, just put that damn thing down. Just stop. You ain't doing the damn thing. Put it down.
Stop before you shoot your eye out.
Christmas story.
But that's, you know, that's the overall concept of things, because it's just it's one of those things that, you know, it just blows your mind of how many people, you know, can just be sucked that bad. Like, do y'all train these people at all? Like, we see the thing where he's like getting, like, Ezra's getting trained. It looks like they go through some hard training, you know, and it seems like they're all pretty good when they're cadets. But then as soon as they put on the stormtrooper armor, they just turn terrible, you know. So it's like, what is going on?
It's got to be that helmet. It's got to be that helmet, man.
That's still one of the funniest memes.
The training cadets helmets look pretty, like, they're pretty open. They look like they're pretty, you know, tactically good. And then you put that stormtrooper helmet on, it's like everything you just learned in this like last 6 months of training just went out the window. It was like,
Have you noticed that? Have you seen that meme where the stormtrooper got? I posted it a long time ago, but he got the gun pointed to his head like this, and he pulls the trigger and it blasts a hole in the wall, but he still misses his head. Like, it's right up and get your head out. Did you miss? That's still one of the funniest memes of all time. And it's just, I don't get it. And it, you know, it just makes it look bad because the rebels ain't all, I mean, they're all better shots for, you know, what we as the crew of the Ghost, because it ain't really a rebel regime yet. But the crew, they're all pretty good shots. They all can fight pretty good. So it's like they're like dominating the stormtroopers and everybody else. So when you get somebody like an Inquisitor or Callus coming in that actually can, you know, handle their own, it makes the episode a lot better. It really does. I think them is some of the things that makes like this episode a lot better, because we had Callus and the Inquisitor really didn't fight. He just kind of showed up at right there, that little part. But it's not, you know, it just made for a better episode.
I really do like Callus. Callus is pretty badass. I want a live action Callus, please.
That would be dope. And it's in a good time, because even in the Mandalorian is what, 5 years after the no, that's after the fall of the Empire.
He'd have to show up.
Maybe Kenobi, but
yeah, he'd have to show up in Kenobi.
Yeah, he'd have to show up. But that would even be cool.
With the Inquisitor and Kanan, where they're going at it, and Kanan just grabs his blaster and tries to shoot him in the face. What are you, Han Solo? No, shoot him in the leg. Drop him. Why'd you take that long?
I don't know.
You know, pointing at your face, and then it's not gonna work. No, shoot him in the leg.
I never got that. Like, why does like people in like Rebels and in you know, like Luke Skywalker and them, y'all can block like the bolts. Why do you think that they can't? You know what I'm saying? Why do y'all shoot at them? You know they can't. Like Ezra was the only one that really with his little when he builds his lightsaber, which we ain't got to that yet. But just for reference material.
Spoiler! God damn it!
You know what I'm saying? He's shooting, and he it's like it's a lot harder to block when you're that close. It's a little bit different. But like everybody else,
the hell out of his lightsaber if I could. His lightsaber, I would abuse his lightsaber. I'd be fighting in the middle of it and pull the trigger a few times and keep going.
It just makes for a lot better of an episode when, there's somebody that actually knows what they're doing out there. There's a lot of fight scenes throughout the 4 seasons, the 4 seasons of that just kind of sounded weird when I said that, the 4 seasons, and we ain't talking about no hotels, but the 4 seasons of Rebel, and, it just shows a good context, when you have good bad guys in here. And that it just makes it a better episode. Because, like, if Callus wasn't in this episode, it would not have been that good. It would have been just like, what? Oh, man, just stormtroopers getting killed. They blew up some shit. You know what I'm saying? It wouldn't have gave you the same.
My biggest thing is I love the reveal of the Inquisitor when they blow up that TIE fighter. You don't know he's there until after that TIE fighter blows up. Like, you be sitting there like, oh, great, they're going to fight a bunch of incompetent stormtroopers. And then the Inquisitor walks up, and you see Agent Callus, and it's like, oh, this is going to be good. At least we got 2 people that can fight. That's decent.
These stormtroopers are just need to buff them up a little bit.
And that's just, it's crazy because that's throughout the entire Star Wars saga. The stormtroopers just are not good.
Which
they're not
they
there.
got so. I mean, just by odds, they should be able to shoot somebody. There's 1,000 of them up against 4 people. Like, you know what I'm saying? You got 1,000
think about it.
like one person's gonna accidentally hit somebody. Like,
bro,
how does everybody do?
The name Stormtrooper. Those are supposed to be badass mother flippers, like Stormtrooper and the white suits and the helmets and. Like, they're supposed to be scary, but they're clowns.
I feel like this is like the backwater hillbilly regime of stormtroopers where they just like shoot into the air. They're like, yeah, be afraid of us. Yeah, yeah.
Get clear.
There's the guys that flunked out, but the Empire still needs bodies, so they shove them to a backwater planet. They're like, you'll be good here. You'll get some good training here.
Shoot him.
Get him. Get him, Paul! Get him!
Tatooine, sandy backwater.
I feel like that's what it is, though. I feel like these are like the training cadets that almost flunked out, and they're like, "Yo, we can't have you in front of the Emperor or in front of Darth Vader. Like, you're gonna make us look bad."
Yes, Chris, that is ultimately true. The Empire did take a huge L by replacing the clones. They should have just kept the clones. The clones is dope. Stormtroopers terrible. I don't know why they even thought that was going to be a good thing.
Oh man.
That was just terrible. I mean, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I never got that. Like, you have an army. Why are you going to get rid of the army and build another one? Just keep the army that you got. They already follow all orders.
And you blew up Camino, which had like thousands of them still being made. Hundreds of thousands of. You're like, drop Camino. Oh, okay, cool. Let's go get some people that want to enlist. That can't shoot worth a shit compared to clones that have been bred for this, trained for this, and I just die for this.
I just don't understand like why you would like we went from the Galactic Republic. That sounds nice.
Yeah.
To the Galactic Empire. That just sounds like some bad shit. This is like, it
comes off really dark too.
Emperor Palpatine.
And like in the Bad Batch when Echo's like the Empire. Like, he had that oh shit look on his face of like, this doesn't sound good. Obviously, it's not, Echo. It's not. You're going to see this.
Well, and my thing is this, and then you went from having like senators and everybody making all the rules to the emperor. The emperor. That's a person that controls. That's a king, Like, you went from having like people that, debated what was going to happen to a king. There ain't no debate no more. Whatever he says goes. That just tells you right there, this is bad. Why would I want to join this? And everybody went and joined it. Han Solo, Sabine, you know what I'm saying? And all kind of people just went join the Empire. Like, oh, this sounds like something good to do. You know
I
what
want
I'm
to be a
saying?
pilot
Like,
for the Empire. No, you don't, because you can't do what you want. Oh, I want to build stuff for the Empire. No, you don't, because they're gonna have you building freaking mass destructive stuff.
I still don't get that. I still do not get that. You know, that a Mandalorian would join, any Mandalorian would join the Empire. Like, that just doesn't make sense. You know, and for Sabine to have joined the Empire, and it's like, dude, how old are you? You're like 17 now. You know what I'm saying? Like, how old was you? Like 4? You know,
You were building technology at 4 or 5 years old. Man, I would love to be in that educational system, because I knew what I grew up in. It wasn't worth it. I would love to know how to build weapons of mass destruction at 5 years old. I'd be rich. I'd be filthy rich. Government would be like, hey, build this for us. Okay, cool. We're playing with building blocks and stuff. This is the idea. Now we just need it over here. Turkey was secretly a rebel replacing them.
That wouldn't be a bad story. It's like Rogue One.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
Yeah, it wasn't the same. It's just the stormtroopers are not the same. I think that's the only bad thing about all of like Rebels is because the stormtroopers just miss all the time. It's like they, especially because of how goofy they look like when they running in the animation. Like, how the hell did you let them get away? You couldn't shoot them. They can't even run right. They run all weird and deformed and just like, and you couldn't hit that. They ain't even going fast.
Oh, jeez.
It's
the whole mass genocide of Alderaan. Alderaan had a bunch of rebel spies. He had to get rid of it. I'm sticking with this theory. This is my theory. Or Alderaan had a bunch of Imperial spies. Fuck, I can't talk today, guys.
That would make a lot of sense. That's why they just said no matter what, they just blew up the planet anyway. I think Vader and Palpatine just knew more than I think. Well, I'm just thinking it was Palpatine because Sidious was all in tune to seeing. He knew everything that was happening before it was happening. He was good at like insight and peering into the future and stuff like that. So I think he knew that Alderaan was always part of the Rebel Alliance, and they was like, yeah, we're gonna just blow it up.
Well, I bet you 10-1 they figured Kamino would join them too the second they found out. That's why they dropped Kamino the way they did.
Well, I just think that in the fact that when you go back to watch the Bad Batch and you watch and you're watching Rebels and how all this stuff played out, it's kind of like I think when Tarkin was already going to go for enlisted soldiers. I mean, we kind of seen it through the Bad Batch that that's where he was really reflecting to. So it's like, get rid of anything that can be an opposition. That's just good tactician. A good tacticianer. It's good tactics. Get rid of the competition.
Why would you get rid of the competition, though, when you can hire the competition? The Kaminoans are all about money and sustaining their life.
Yeah,
you pay them a little bit, and they can still do what they're doing.
I think Palpatine was kind of pushing for, I think he knew. Like, all right, the clones are going to turn on us sooner or later. Or the Kaminoans, or however you say it. Kaminoans. I think he knew that they was going to turn on him. That's why he was like, wipe them out. And he had Tarkin just do it. We just didn't see that Sidious called the shots. He always calls the shot. He's the Emperor.
Yeah, he runs the show. He had this all planned out. So, I mean, it still broke my heart.
Yeah, it sucked. Like, to see all the clones die, and
it was my whole thing. Like, I'm wearing all my Bad Batch stuff. Like, clones are my favorite thing. And watching Kamino fall, it was like,
well, and it doesn't really, even in the Bad Batch, it don't show what happened to all the clones that left. So I'm like, all right, so did they just kind of like slowly kill them off, or what really happened to the rest of the clones that was in the Empire as these enlisted soldiers was coming in? Like, the clones can shoot stuff. So what, in 15 years, they just wiped out all the clones by this time, or however long it is, 14, 13?
Like, when they bring Ton Wei to that hidden fortress, you see the clone commandos escorting her, like 15 of them. I wonder if like when they got Gregor, they have the clone commandos training enlisted soldiers. I wonder if that's what they did throughout time when they started winging them off. You'd shove like a clone commander in front of a garrison of freaking. Don't be winking at me. How you doing? They just shoved him in front of.
Yeah, but then you would think during this time there would still be, even back, a few years after the Empire falls, there's already the stormtroopers can't hit nothing. There should have been clone troopers still there. So why can't they hit anything? Like, what, did the clone troopers just get worse because they was training these idiots and they was like, these dudes can't shoot?
What was
they had to mass genocide. I'm telling you in the book, this is just a prediction. I think in the next season of the Bad Batch, they're gonna show what happens to all the clones. Well, that would be like maybe not this season, but maybe like season 3 or maybe just season 2. They might, but I think in the next couple seasons of the Bad Batch, they're going to show what happens to all the clones, because right now we don't have no idea. It's like, did they just get sorry or something? Like, because these stormtroopers can't hit nothing.
Well, I know Vader's battalion, like when you Vader's 501st are accurate and good. I wonder if Vader just started, every time he would lose a clone, he'd grab another and fill out his 501st until he was out of clones. Because you know how he was with the clones. He's going to want the most accurate. He's got the most lethal death squad. He is the ultimate soldier, He is Anakin Skywalker. He knows he's a tacticianer. He's going to want the best shots. He's not going to go get some enlisted jackasses that can't shoot. He's going to just start taking clones until they're all gone, I think that's maybe that was what we did. I can't even talk. We're going to see that, damn it. We're going to see that. I think that's what's going to be the thing.
A lot of clones to go through.
Well,
that's what I'm saying, because there was a crap ton of clones, man, and they just all of a sudden they're just stormtroopers and they all suck. We know the clones could shoot, so just by like even if it was 90% stormtroopers and 10% clones part of the Imperial Army, that 10% should be able to hit one of these people.
Right.
There's no Jedi to kill off the clones, shooting, they shoot and they get lightsabers swatted back. So it's like, who is the one that's doing this? Like, where did all the clones go? And we know that they ain't with Rex, because it was Rex, Wolf, and Gregor. So, it's like, where did they go? Like, they just disappeared? Like, what happened? Did they die off? Or, did he hit the switch and just fry their brains? Or what happened?
I think we'll see more of this in Obi-Wan also. Because you got to think, this is a little bit past that time. We're going to see, that looks like Tamara Morrison in the trailer, that standing in the alleyway in front of that Inquisitor. I feel like that might be Rex, or that might be even Cody. It might give that explanation, you took my brothers from me. And it might give us that explanation.
They gave us no explanation in the Bad Batch what happened to Cody.
Cody executed Order 66 in Revenge of the Sith. So we don't know if Rex tried to get to him and it was too late, and he ended up dying trying to take over Kashyyyk or something. We don't know.
Yeah, they didn't give no explanation to what happened to Cody.
Cody's bad.
I think Cody's bad.
So it's like, I think this is a lot of things that they're going to bring up in the Bad Batch, like what happened to Cody, more about Rex, helping get clones and getting their chips out or whatever. I think we're going to have a lot of that. And then I think this is just a prediction, but I think that, we're going to have a lot more of that, and we're going to have a lot more of what happens to the rest of the clones. Like, what did they do? They got to explain it at some point, because right now, what happened to them? They just disappeared.
You took them off Camino. Where'd they go? That's the biggest thing. Because we saw in those 2 episodes that they were evacuating clones off of Camino.
Yeah, they weren't evacuating.
The Coruscanti Legion, the Kashyyyk Legion. We saw all the battalions that were spread out through the galaxy on Camino in the beginning of the Bad Batch. So we didn't see it in season 1. We don't see it in Rebels. We're probably going to catch it in season 2, maybe a little bit in Obi-Wan, and we might catch a little bit more going into maybe the Mandalorian, because Rex is still around. Rex, like George said, George even confirmed on Endor that, he said, That's Rex. That's Rex right there in front and center. Like when the maker says, "Yeah, I didn't plan that, but yeah, let's go with it." That means there's a lot of story to tell now.
Yeah, dude,
Well,
give us
there's still-
like a live action Tamara Morrison, like having flashbacks of like what happened to all the clones and then what happened to him and where Rex went, you know?
I think that would be dope.
I would love that. Just the instead of the Book of Boba Fett, the story, the 501st stories, something like that.
Well, you know, it would be crazy because this would kind of make sense too if you really think about it. So, say Rex goes to Tatooine because he knows Kenobi is there, or he finds out through some information that he's there. He goes there, and you know what I'm saying, Kenobi's like, "Hey, you got to get away from it." And then he finds, like, say he finds Wolf and Gregor there, and then they go to that other planet and start hunting them big worm thingies or whatever.
Right.
Because they're doing the same thing. I mean, it would explain why Rex went and hid, because Kenobi's like, go hide until the time is right. You know, or something like that.
It makes sense.
Just get as many of the clones that you can. Because then, wait a minute, it was Cody the one that tried to shoot, wasn't it Cody the one that tried to shoot Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith?
Yeah, he's the one that pointed at Kenobi on top of that.
Would it be crazy if Kenobi, like, after everything happened, before he got to Tatooine, he went and found Cody, cut his head off, and tried to kill you, asshole?
Payback.
You know what I'm saying? That might have been what happened to Kobe. Obi-Wan was like, "Oh, yep, remember how you shot me off of that thing?"
Chris pulled up. You think maybe their inhibitor chips have a kill switch? We've talked about this before.
Yeah, we talked about it back in the very beginning of the podcast. I think it's possible. I mean, because it's an electronic chip in your brain. You just hit a button, fry the whole brain.
It made fives go crazy. In Clone Wars. So I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, it's possible they just hit a switch and just fry all the clones' brains. But I don't know. I don't think that would be a very good story. You know, I think Dave and John will come out with something a little bit better than that.
Well, especially since Dave loves the clones. He loves Plo Koon's Legion. He loves Commander Wolf. I feel like we're going to get a proper story.
But see, then that's another thing. And that means that everybody all the clones that survived, Rex had to go get them and get their chips out of their head. So that might be something that happens in the Bad Batch, and that'd explain a lot. Then he hits the switch, but he got so many people out of it. But then it kind of sucks too, because that one guy that they didn't, he still had his chip in his head. He just left. And when they ordered that stuff, he was just far enough away and went around. And the one with the Twi'lek wife, the little kids, that would suck for them. They're just playing with their dad and just they just fries his brain.
Croaks.
That would suck.
Middle of kicking a ball in the field and his dad just drops and dies. That would suck. That'd be traumatizing as hell.
Yeah.
You're like, Dad, kick it back, and he's on the ground seizing out because his fucking chips frying his brain out. That'd be terrible. That is some dark writing.
However you send the clones out, it's got to be like in a noteworthy way. And I feel like a kill switch and the chips is just kind of, I don't know, bro. It's just, it's boring. Like, give me, these people deserve a good death.
Well, yeah, especially the clones. So. They have such depth to them. Like Tech said in the Bad Batch, you know, clones fought so hard to get their own names. Now people are lining up to get numbers. Like clones are more people than people are in the Empire. I don't think these clones are going to I think we're going to get a clone versus Stormtrooper fight. Like, that has always been my thing. I think that would be a good way to end it. And next thing you know.
Is that really a fight, though? Like,
well,
the clones will win. You could take one clone and take out like 100 Stormtroopers, man. Yeah. Well, the Stormtroopers ain't even as good as the droids.
You have more soldiers that enlisted than you do clones at this point.
But it's like 100 to 1. They can't shoot nothing. There'd be 1,000 Stormtroopers shooting at Kanan, and they can't even hit him. Like, by odds, you should be able to hit this dude at least once.
Like I said, those are the flunkies of the Imperial Academy. They're the backwater guys that just go out there and they're like, "Yeah, we got blasters. We're gonna get them."
That's why they're sent out there to the Outer Rim. Like, just go send them guys out there. They suck. They're terrible. They're the worst of the worst.
Terrible. Get them out of here. That's why they have Agent Callus out there. That's why they have the Inquisitor out there, because they're incompetent. That's how I feel about it. Because, like, we don't always see clone troopers do bad. Like, I mean, you have the Death Troopers. before they became mechanical Death Troopers. You have the 501st Legion, which was Vader's Legion that took over Kashyyyk in Force Unleashed. If Garrison, I know you remember that. Like, they took out Wookiees. Like, not all stormtroopers are bad shots. I think it's just these guys.
Chris brought up a very good point. The Ryloth would be a good place, but what was the clone trooper that was kind of going against the Empire? Hauser, yeah.
Hauser.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah,
So
because he did that speech and he had all of them kind of like realizing like, yo, this ain't the right thing. They
start throwing down their guns and stuff like, nope, I ain't doing it. And then they all got arrested. They probably killed them all right then. They just took them in the back, put them in a room, and just shot the shit out of them where they couldn't miss because they all stuck in one little corner.
But why would you get us attached to a good character like Hauser and not give him a good death, like a good fighting chance to die the right way? You just kill him off in a firing squad in the back room. That's kind of a cop out too, though. Like I think a lot of the clone troopers their ships aren't going to be fully effective this next season. I think we're going to get a good fight. I just think that the enlisted are going to outnumber the clones that, the chips didn't fully work and they started thinking on their own. And I think we're going to get a hell of a battle. And I think Rex, I think that would explain why Rex is, dipped out with Gregor and, I can't remember his name, Wolf, and went to that planet. I think that would make sense.
Yeah.
All your brothers died except for like 4 or 5 of us, and 3 of us got out. The other 2 got killed by like Vader. I think that would be dope. Like if Hauser like stood up to Vader after all the clones got killed, and they're like, "Nah, shut up, force choke, death."
What if they just brought all the clones to like one place? Like they got them all like on one planet, and then they just had the Inquisitors. That was the Inquisitor training. They just had to go out and wipe out the clones. That was like they're training Vader and all the
that's how
Inquisitors.
That's how they all got better.
They just killing the clone troopers because they're way better at shots and they're way better, so it'd be more like fighting the rebels. They was like, go out there and just kill them all. It's like
There's 100 of them. I don't want to see a single one standing. Go ahead.
Like million, like 10 versus a million, because there's like a million clone troopers, and they're just you got 12 Inquisitors and Vader just wiping them out. Helps them get just stronger with the dark side.
Throwing them, throwing their lightsabers, doing the lightsaber helicopter practice, all that fun stuff.
Dude, I so hope they don't do it. I mean, I hope they do it. It would be cool to see like once, but if they keep doing it like all the time, I'm gonna be like, oh man, in live action, that's gonna be hard to pull off. And flying through the air with spinning lightsabers, that's gonna be hard to pull off in live action. Whoever the stuntman for that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah. And I'm gonna feel bad for him because that's gonna be aggressive. There's a lot of practice there. So are we done with these 2 episodes?
Yeah, I think we're done with them too.
Because we went kind of on a good tangent. We stayed on topic, but we kind of went off topic.
Hey, we've been talking about Rebels
It's
the whole
relevant.
time.
The relevancy of the topic is great.
Relevancy. All right. So news, big news.
Yes.
Well, only really big news that I can find. Well, okay. Well, we got two news factors here. One of them, Hayden Christensen does an interview where he's talking about how surreal it was to be, back on the set and be Darth Vader. And I really like the whole prospect of it because, we look at it, we're like, we're looking at it and we know Ewan is, as Obi-Wan. We had him for 3 episodes or 3 of the movies, and then Hayden was just in 2 of the last 2 of the prequel trilogy. And for him to come back and be able to be Vader, it just made him feel like really special, and it also him being able to work back with Ewan McGregor was really, really good. He said that it gave him a very special place to put him back in Star Wars. And I thought that was kind of cool. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
I got news from you. I got news for you, Queen. Hayden Christensen, you don't need to be on the set. You'll always be Vader to us.
You will always be Vader.
You will always be Vader now.
You got to really think about it. I don't think that there's, in all the Star Wars movies, the best two characters when you put them together, working together, was Ewing and Hayden.
Oh, dude.
I mean,
Without a doubt.
that's the
without a
best
doubt.
combination. And to bring them back together, even if it's not a lot in the series, just to have them working back together, their ideas, the way that they flow. Come on, that lightsaber battle in Revenge of the Sith was just, there was nothing.
And
Yeah,
Hayden's
even-
been practicing. He'd been.
well-
He'd sitting at home looking at his life like, maybe I should play with that today. He's been practicing because he was going to get brought back. He just didn't know when. So why not keep up on it? Like you'll see on Graham Norton, Ewan McGregor still got it. He still busts it out. He does the Obi-Wan. He does all the works. Like he's at home playing with his lightsaber that he got to take home.
I think that's the thing that I'm waiting for the most, that I'm the most excited about when it comes to the series, is that they got to have a lightsaber battle. You know that they're going to fight again. And, dude, just to be able to see that is going to be amazing. The only thing that sucks is because of the suit. He's not going to be able to do as good as he did when he didn't have the suit. And that's one of the limitations that Vader had, was that he wasn't able to, he wasn't as mobile, because he's all mechanical.
If they do it right, he'll make up for it, and just his presence, his power. You know what I mean? I think he'll make up for his lack of mobility and being speedy and fast. But
Vader had to be pretty damn good because he wiped out a whole bunch of Jedis to survive Order 66. So
his force ability, his combat presence has got to be terrifying. Seeing that thing coming at you, but dude, I gotta agree. Just Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor, just how well they did together. And it wasn't just the fight scenes either. It was just you were totally sucked into their relationship. The entire time watching the episode, you thought this was real with how connected they were and how much it seemed like they were really master and apprentice.
And even the deleted scenes, when you watch the deleted scenes of they're going over their game plans, and Ewan does the whole mustache curl, and and they're like, nah, and then it's that stuff. That stuff would have made the movie great. Don't get me wrong. We got a great product either way off of that. But just seeing those deleted scenes of how they acted with each other, even messing around, I wish they had kept that in the movie. That's some chemistry you don't get very often.
Right.
They just work really well together. I mean, the friendship that they share within the episode made it really, really, really good. Their outside friendship coincided with their work friendship when they were actually on set, and it fit together. It made it really, really good. And I think that Hayden just saying how surreal it is to be Vader, and just be able to work back with McGregor. I can't wait to see it. It just makes me, when they come out with articles like this and they say how much fun and that how much, it just makes me so much more excited for the episode, and I think it's just going to make the whole series better. I really do, and I'm just so excited. I can't even get the words out. I'm so excited. I know we only got 2 months.
I just can't wait.
But almost, man, it seems like time is going in slow motion. You know what I'm saying? Dude, are we ever going to get to, why is this? As soon as they announce a date, it's and then it just, time just goes slow.
They want to let Boba Fett marinate a little bit. Maybe we'll change our minds.
Hey, I don't know, man. Boba Fett won an Oscar. Boba Fett won, it done boosted way up in IMDb.
Bro,
Rotten
I think
Tomatoes and all that stuff.
The difference between, what Disney... I don't know. There's a wide difference.
I think it's a lot more younger people that are also
right.
Yeah. But like you said before, Kyle, I think this was kind of like a filler. It was kind of cram a bunch of stuff, kind of give us something that isn't the best quality that we know we can get from them, but at the same time, it's something to keep you intrigued in Star Wars while we make this next show bomb as hell. You're gonna love every second of this. You're gonna love every episode of this. It's going to be slow in the beginning, or it might be right out the gate heavy, but I think Disney did this to kind of fill us up.
I really think it's going to start off. It's going to be really exciting because they got to set the stage.
Yeah,
they got to draw you in, so they got to be all right, he's getting away, he's leaving from Alderaan or wherever he's at. He goes to Tatooine. You know, he gets there, and you know he's trying to understand he can't be a Jedi no more. And they started off like that, and then it slows down and goes through the mental anguish that he's going through and the heartfelt that he's going through of Lewis and Anakin, and he has Anakin's thing, and then I really think that we're gonna see some Force ghosts in this, and they're gonna pop up and they're gonna talk to him, and then it's gonna ramp up towards the end again, and we're gonna have a really exciting ending to it, and it's gonna be something that's really jaw dropping.
And I think with this, I think if it goes well and it goes the way they planned it, I think we will get a season 2. I really do. I think we might get a season 2.
They've already said that they're not. This was the movie. They just created a miniseries out of it. And Disney's already announced that. They better be hour
episodes then. They better be hour episodes. I better get an hour of staring at that TV.
I mean, it's possible because you can get there's a lot of hours that go in. I mean, you got to look at a director's cut of a movie. It's usually like 4 to 6 hours long, you know.
Yeah. I need at least 6 hours of this.
It'll be nice, but I mean, it'll be great if it comes out and it's like freaking, hour and a half episodes each one. That would be so dope, or even hour episodes. It'd be so dope. But I think there's going to be a mixture. I think it's going to be I don't think there's going to be any real short. I think no less than 40, 45 minutes per episode, maybe even 45 minutes, and then a couple hour episodes to fill out the whole thing and tell the story the way that they want to tell. Because I think that they're really going to try to tell their story, and we're covering a lot of time. There's a lot of time happening right here because we got to go all the way. If they do it right, they got to take it all the way from, him being, because it looks like they're from the previews. They're starting around the time that Luke is around 6 or 7, maybe 8, and then they got to push that all the way up. But I don't know, because it could start before that when he's going, and that's why I think it's going to go. But then it's going to have to go over a 15-year period or 18-year period till Luke is 18. That's a long time to go through. So It just depends on how they do it. But this is supposed to be the entire story of what happens to Kenobi during the time before Luke goes off to be in training. So we'll have to see.
Dude, regardless, my hopes are very, very high. Please don't smash them, Disney. I'm so nervous.
I'm trying not to build up because I keep seeing things, I keep reading things, and I read the Hayden Christensen thing, and I got really excited. I'm trying not to get my hopes up so I can go into this kind of blind and get the full grasp of it. But
you said the word Kenobi, and I was fuck it.
Well, yeah, I know. When they said Kenobi's coming out, when we saw on the celebration when Kathleen brought him out, and it was like, can you say can you say I'm back and hello there? Holy crap. I instantly was like, yes. I was screaming. I was literally in tears. Finally, something that we've wanted, something we've been questioning. We got a decent book out of it. I love the book, but I want to see it in live action. I want to see Rue. I want to see Obi-Wan with that struggle. I want to see him talk to Qui-Gon. I want to see him do the things I know he can do before we get him in a New Hope.
Well, like I said, I have expectations that it's going to be good. But at the same time, my expectations is not at the point of, because I know there's going to be real slow parts in it, because they have to tell the story in this. If they fail to tell the story in this, it's going to ruin it. And they can't do that. I mean, Dave and them know they cannot do that. Dave and John know if they do that to Kenobi, I mean, everybody knows who Kenobi is. There's a lot of people that don't have no idea who Boba Fett is. So they don't have to make it excellent on Boba Fett. All of us old timers, the real Star Wars fans that know who Boba Fett is, it might hurt us a little bit, but new people don't know. They thought it was all good, and we could tell by the reviews. But at the same time, they can't do that to Kenobi. Kenobi was in the prequel trilogy that came out. People, 20 to in between, 20 and 40 have all seen these movies, plus the younger kids have seen these movies by now. They have to come out with a solid product. If they don't, it's just not going to be that could really devastate Star Wars as a franchise if they do that. So I know that Dave and John is going to put their heart in it. Plus you got Ewing, you got Hayden, you got all these people that is going to be in the Kenobi series that were part of the prequels that they can get information from as they was doing. How do you guys think we should do this? You know, do you think it would be better this? What do you think about the script? Do you think we need to change something? Because I'm pretty sure Hayden and McGregor is not going to. They're not going to let this be sorry. They're going to be like, nah, man, the Obi-Wan wouldn't do that. What are you talking about? Or Vader wouldn't do that. You know, that's not what's going to happen. So I think it's going to be really good. I think they had a lot of people involved in this that were true Star Wars fans, and they're gonna make a good episode.
All right.
Okay, so
Next
now
piece of
moving
Yes.
now moving on to I know something that everybody notices that Charlie's not here. Charlie decided to leave LightSaber Radio to explore other things, and it's sad. You know, Charlie was one of the crew. It's sad that she's gone. She was one of the teammates, and it's just one of those things that, you know, people got to make their own decisions on the things that they want to do. You know, we are a little bit out there, and Charlie was a little bit more, she wanted something that was a little bit more, had a little bit more restraint than the outrageous Star Wars show, which is not a bad thing. You know, we hope the best for her, and we hope that whatever she decides to do really works out for her, and she will be missed. But she is no longer part of the show. So we are looking for somebody that can fill her position. And so send us some emails if you decide that you think that that's going to be something that you want to do. We would love to, you know, go through the interview process with everybody, because we're definitely looking for somebody that could come in and fill her shoes, which is going to be some big shoes to fill.
Oh yeah.
She did a lot. So, but we definitely wish her the best.
Yep.
It's
Rest in
sad.
peace, Drums. She's not dead. She's not dead.
No, she's very much alive, and she just like it just wasn't her cup of tea. She wanted something with a little bit more structure, a little bit more laid back, kind of calm, and like Kyle said, we're outrageous. We say some crazy shit. We kind of go off board sometimes, and it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't her cup of tea, and that isn't a British joke. That's just that's one of my things I say, and it's
because we're the Boston Tea Party over here.
we be throwing tea in the harbor, but not the point. With this is that she, like I said, it wasn't what she wanted, and I personally wish her the best. I know Kyle does, and Garrison does, and she will be missed. Yes, what Chris said in the bottom right here, the show must go on. We're not leaving because she's leaving. You're going to get us twice a week. Hell, you're going to get annoyed with us sooner or later.
It might be more than that. Just depends on how everybody's things work out.
Yeah.
Because we got some things coming up. Oh, just a quick announcement. May the 4th, Star Wars Days, Swaycast Network will go live, the website. So there's going to be a lot of stuff on there. We're trying to get, I'm working on right now, getting stuff for LSR, stuff for the Star Wars in 10 podcast, some shirts and stuff out. And we're probably looking at least 2 more podcasts that will be coming, maybe 3. I don't know. I'm trying to work out this one. So there'll be 5 total podcasts that will be always uploaded on that. So definitely trying to get that out, because Star Wars fans deserve it.
We're not going away. We're not disappearing. We're gonna blow this up. That's all I gotta say. We're gonna blow this up, because Swaycast Networks, I know, Kyle, that's the name of it. We just maybe.
Yeah,
no, that's his baby. That's his
I
baby.
thought you said maybe. You heard maybe too, right?
I was like, wait a minute, maybe. What are you? No, it's
What
coming.
do you mean maybe?
We're gonna change the name to Garrison Turcotte Cast Network. So get ready.
We just want to give you guys the best experience, the knowledge of Star Wars, some fun stuff, some lighthearted stuff, some really inappropriate stuff. That's what we like. But we're just trying to give you guys the best content.
And one of them is Star Wars in Character, is one of the podcasts is coming out. My good friend Jason's probably going to be doing that one. He's a voice actor. I've worked with him on some different projects back in the day, but he's probably going to be doing that one. Like a Star Wars News Now type thing. It'll probably be like a daily news thing comes out, it'll probably be like 10, 15-minute just news things. Plus, I'm trying to bring a lot of stuff to LightSaber Radio, plus the add to the channel, like some Darth Sway stuff. I know me and CJ talked about doing some different stuff. I know Garrison, as soon as he graduates from college, which is taking forever because it just sucks up all his time.
You're just milking this college experience, man. You really are.
Like, damn, man, you've been in college for like 30 years. Come on, man. When you going to graduate? I need your help.
6 months. You should be done by now.
I should have added a second major. That was on me.
But, you know, we definitely trying to bring a lot of good stuff, and we trying to bring Star Wars a little bit for everybody. I want something for everybody. Star Wars in 10, you know, I don't cuss and none of that stuff. So when I get on here, all kind of shit flies out my mouth. So, you know what I'm saying?
You just be letting loose.
You know, this is about having fun. That's why we call it the Outrageous Star Wars Show. That
Van Garrison Wilder over here.
There's a lot of stuff that's coming in it. So May the 4th is hopefully everything works out, and I'm dropping it on May the 4th. And then all the podcasts will be there, so anybody can just go and just click on there, and you know, they can click on there and just know every podcast that we're working on. You know, everything that's happening. I'm working with some other people, so hopefully they come through. If everything works out the way I want it to work out, it'll just be like your one-stop shop. You can just go there. You can find Star Wars merchandise. You can find podcasts. You can find videos. You can find just a little bit of everything on this website. And then plus, you know, you can always come and watch more direct stuff on YouTube or go to whatever, Spotify, and find all of you, because they're going to be everywhere. I just want to have one place that somebody can go to and find all the stuff that Swaycast has to offer in one place. And that's kind of what the Swaycast Network is all about, networking with all the podcasts that we can get going here, plus bring in other people that want to do their own shows, and then just have one place where you can just go and just find everything that just Star Wars. There's so much Star Wars that is coming out your ears.
Yeah, so you don't have to go to the Spotify or the YouTubes and all that stuff. You don't got to search. I think that's what Kyle's just trying to get at. You can just type in Sway, the website link, click on, you get all our podcast stuff, you get all our merchandise, whatever you name it, all together.
Because if I get these LightSaber Radio shirts, that once I can get it figured out the way that I want it to be, it's just going to be like a full 3D print both sides, just a bunch of LSR logos all over it. It's going to be really dope once I figure out how. Just the problem is it cuts them off, and it makes them look funny. And I'm like, oh, I don't like that. But we're going to get it figured out. It's going to get figured out. I got some really good people working on it.
I think the episode that I dressed as Kylo Ren with my shirt off was the best anyway. So we'll just spray paint LSR on my chest. And we'll see how this
No, we should make sure it's like that. It's just like it looks like you're nude, but it says LSR on it. And then on the back it says Team Ben Swallow. I think like Garrison in small letters right under it. I think that'd be a good shirt, right?
Ben Garrison Swallow. Yeah, so we're definitely working on some stuff. We're definitely getting some stuff going. So I think that's a good place to, you know, wrap up the show. Charlie, you will be missed. Bunch of new stuff is coming. Anybody wants to come on the show, let us know. Definitely subscribe, hit that thumbs up, hit that bell notification. That way you guys can know when we drop new stuff and about all the new things that is coming out. And we'll see you guys on Saturday.
All right, before we
Thank you for tuning into LSR.
Okay,
before we get back, Chris asked a question. You jumped right out. You're like, nope, later. No, Chris asked a question, the one right above his other one. He says, are you still going to be primarily on YouTube, or will it just be through the website?
No, we'll still be on YouTube. Everything is going to be out just the way it is now. It just, if somebody like during the day, you can just put in the website and go straight to whatever, because we'll still do the lives like we're doing now. That's not going to change. All the stuff will still come out on, you know, Spotify and all that stuff. It'll just be, if you want to go see what new stuff we're doing, or if you just want to go to the website and click on a link, you can do that. Just another place where everything is at. So it'll be like we'll have, you know, our individual shows and all the different shows on the different platforms. But if you just want to go to one place, and then you can find out like that, that's where we'll, you know, everybody that we network with, everybody that we work with, you know, we can have, everybody can be in one place, And we don't have to have, you don't have to go look up this and then go look over here for this and look over here. Because, we do the live here, and then on Spotify, I have the Star Wars in 10 because I don't do it on YouTube. And then, like, Star Wars News Now will probably be something that is done live and then on YouTube. And then, the Star Wars and character is going to be solely a podcast. So it won't have video. So, but if you want to go there and you want to say, oh, I want to see what the last 3 episodes was of the last 3 shows, it'll just be one place that you can go and find all of them. Plus the other people that we're networking with, they're all going to be in one place. So I'm just trying to suck everything into like one area. So if you want to go there, you could go there. But we'll definitely be doing a live like we're doing now. That's never going to change because this is too much fun.
We're here to stay, baby. That's all we got to say.
The biggest thing is I'm just trying to pack as much Star Wars as I can in one place. That's the whole idea. Because it won't just be the stuff that's, Swaycast Network. It'll be other people that I work with that's doing Star Wars stuff that they can come and they can put their stuff on the Swaycast Network website, free of charge. So if somebody comes out with a podcast and they want to come on or a show and they want to be part of it, then they can stick it on there. And then that's just another platform that they can go to, that Star Wars fans can go to get Star Wars. Because basically it's Star Wars Audio Archives Network Casting. That's what SWAY stands for. So it'll be everything audio. There's going to be video, of course, because all this stuff will be on there. But it'll be, you can look at a lot of different podcasts because we work with a lot of different podcasts. And it's not just me. My friend Jerome, he's actually the person that's setting up the website, and he works with a lot of other Star Wars podcasts, doing editing and stuff like that. I'm trying to get an editor on there, somebody. So if you need help with editing, you can get in touch with different people that can help you with like videos. They can help you with audio. They can help you with, where it's just a big family, everybody working together to give you the best Star Wars content that you can get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm trying to get it out. Yep, we're trying to get it done by May 4th. So, because I'm like, Star Wars Day, what better day to drop this giant project that I've been working on for about, 6 months now. We ain't even got the website done yet. And I've been working with I've had a website designer working on this for over 6 months because I want it to be perfect before it comes out. I want it to be perfect. I want to have all the content on there. I want to have everything done before we drop the website. Because I just want a place where, because it's going to be something to like, and I'm trying to get it set up to where, like, the video say you wanted to listen, sort of like Spotify does with Joe Rogan. That's how I'm trying to do this site. So, say we do an audio, or we do a video podcast, and you put it there's video, of course, but if you shut off the video on YouTube, it shuts off the audio. I want to have it so when the video is playing, you shut off the video, the audio still plays. So that way you can listen to it anywhere you want to. You don't have to rely on the video part. That way, it'll still be everywhere else, but that one place you can go, you can just get it all. You don't have to worry about no separation or worry about, I want to listen to LSR, but, I don't want to have to go to Spotify. I can just click on this, and then I have a multitude of different podcasts that I can come and listen to. If they got a video, you can watch the video, or you can shut it off and still listen to it. That's like one of the biggest things that I've been trying to work on, is trying to get it where the video will play, or if you shut your phone down or whatever you're listening to it on it, the audio will still play for you. So that's definitely a good thing. If everything works out, I'm praying, I'm hoping to God everything works out, because this has been a long task, but I'm trying to get it to where it's just good, and just everybody can just come, and there's just multitudes of podcasts on there, and it's basically a Star Wars network site. So all the Star Wars creators can come to one place and put their content, and when you go there, it's just about Star Wars, and you just have so much content that you're drowning in Star Wars content. That's what I'm trying to get it to. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay, so now are we ready to leave? Bye, guys. We love y'all. Peace. Peace, Star
Saturday.
Wars. May the Force be with you. All that good stuff. Okay, now I got to go back to the thing. Where's the button at? See,
Hit the
Golly.
button.
Piss me
Press the
off.
button. Sorry, Chris asked a question. Just hit the button.
Thank you for tuning in to LSR. If you enjoyed the show, consider subscribing so you can be notified when new episodes are released. If you would like to be a guest on the show or just want to give us some feedback, feel free to email us. You can also reach out to us on all major social media platforms. They're linked in the show notes below. LightSaber Radio is produced by Pick Film Media and is a Swaycast original, starring Charlie Harwood, Garrison Turcott, CJ Elliott, and Carl McDaniel. And don't forget to join us next time for more adventures in a galaxy far, far away.